could be pretty strong in this case, or maybe they want to emphasize a little bit more push. I mean, you've got the aura from the Beastmaster increasing attack speed. Obviously, the Shadow Fiend reduces the enemy's armor as well, so they really can get damage out, and maybe you want to go for something faster tempo like a Clinks. I'm not too sure. For now, the band's coming out, the Darkseer and the Night Stalker in phase 2, along with the Slardar and the Lina. So, respecting the Mag, Broodmother, as well as a lot of the higher tier picks here. But do you see the Alchemist slip through into the 4th pick here for 4CNL? Vega Squadron have already kind of accounted for both supports, so they're not going to be able to pick up the Ancient Apparition here. And that means that we are going to be looking at a kind of Alchemist that is able to get the most value out of his ultimate. It looks like a safe lane Alchemist, farming mostly for himself. Like, a lot of people will jump on the Aghanim Scepter train and be like, oh, he can give Aghanims here, he can Aghanims there. A one-position Alchemist still really needs to play the carry role. So he might give an Aghanim Scepter to the Witch Doctor around like 30 minutes in, but everything up until that point is going to be selfish. It's going to be all about increasing his GPM, farming the jungle faster, and then building up his own ability to fight. So this Alchemist pick might deter an anti-mage idea from Vega Squadron, although AM is pretty strong in this context. If you get hit by a Queen of Pain Orchid, if you get blinked on by an Alchemist with a concoction ready to go, you're going to be in for some trouble. So I'm not sure if they want to go for the anti-mage here, but for now, the Wyvern gets banned out alongside the Necrophos, and we're going to see Siuma's last pick here for the Radiant side. He does have 1 minute and 40 seconds to think about this one, so if he does decide it's going to be something a little bit different, we'll see very shortly. For now, though, you gotta assume the Beastmaster is going to go off lane, Shadow Fiend to the mid, and then Disruptor and Earthshaker will mostly try lane in the safe lane, with Earthshaker coming in to help out the Shadow Fiend against that Quap. Just generally speaking, that's kind of what you're looking forward to. Very kind of clear cut. That said, Vega Squadron, I mean, they want physical damage for sure, but it can come in many different forms. I mean, they can get some heroes that will be able to put out lots of physical damage early. Maybe they're able to do just a little bit gradually. I mean, Juggernaut's still pretty strong here in terms of being able to deal with the Witch Doctor Alchemist. He's also really good against Tuskar in lane. But the problem is, the Omni Slash is so easy to cancel out from the Tusk Snowball or the Queen of Pain Blink that you're probably not going to be relying on that hero to do your damage. So you're more likely to pick up something just a little bit more farm-centric, and we'll see. It just comes down to what they're most comfortable with here. 30 seconds on the clock. So this is pretty early on in Star Ladder Europe, but both teams really vying for control of just their overall scoreboard and trying to move forward in the tournament. Sven is actually going to be the last pick. This has actually been a little bit more common these days than obviously the previous patches. Sven has a little bit more mana. Early farming is actually, so if Shadow Fiend is not able to raise something down, say the Ancients are stacked up by Mag on the Beastmaster, Sven can do a lot of work with that. Along with that, he's actually got a really nice bit of utility that no other hero can really bring. This Warcry armor is going to be huge against the Witch Doctor and the Alchemist, so I really do like that idea. Anyways, we're going to put Bambo on the Clockwork here, still left through to the last phase. It's a really good offlaner, but it's also one that you don't want to draft early in order to kind of hide what your game plan is. Where Queen of Pain and Tusk are a lot more flexible, the work very clearly shows what you intend to do with your lanes. So, we're going to go ahead and switch over to the in-game and see how things match up here. We got Solo going for the early TP here to scout out some ward action. He's gonna go ahead and drop the courier to be used by somebody else there, unbox the donkey. And yeah, we've got Solo moving out, making sure that Sexy Bambo doesn't get any good wards, because already the Clockwork has a nice advantage here on the Dire by being able to put creeps in the trees, just doing good cog play in general. So you want to be able to make sure that your pull is not locked down, or Solo's gonna have a hard time getting early experience. In the meantime, that's of course Solo on the Disruptor. We've got him supporting alongside Siuma on the Earthshaker. This leaves Noon, or No One, as I prefer to call him, on the Shadow Fiend going from mid lane. That will leave Pashe on the Beast, or the Sven here in the safe. pretty strong there with the Mango to start, just in case he needs that extra Stormhammer on the fly. And then, of course, Mag here. He does get some wards down. 1 to scout out action here. This also does block off this spawn. And then he's actually got a sentry here, which will block off the pole camp. So no matter what, 4CNL aren't really going to be able to do too much with this Witch Doctor Tusk in terms of putting the Beastmaster in a threatening zone. He can keep the Creepilobrium around here, and with the Observer Ward, they should be able to scout out any incoming movement. As far as the Bounty Rune, that's very important for the Alchemist. Skilling up Grievel's Greed, it will be an uncontested bounty claim for him. So, as much as you'd like to take that away from him and prevent him from starting with 700 gold, it's just not going to happen. And we go back to the blocks here. EGM going to be blocking up the mid lane, helping out Pycat, who's going to be running on this Queen of Pain. That will leave Socks on the Alchemist here. That's going to be a lot of farm coming his way, as long as they can keep the Beastmaster under wraps. And then your offlane here, you got Bambo's Clockwork, and he did go for a Cog earlier, but he's not doing any tree play, just trying to get this range creep out front. And Solo won't counteract it. Usually you'll have the support a little bit further forward here to try to block the range creep and make sure that he's not the first one to hit. But Solo, there seems to be a miscommunication on the block here in Passion. Solo let their creep wave go all the way up here, which is of course not the intention. Up top though, we got some good damage here coming on the Beastmaster. 2 melee heroes trying to do what they can with just Ice Shards alone. But of course with the Alchemist having no active skill available at level 1, it's just going to be the Beastmaster slipping away and popping his healing cell. Earthshaker looking for an opening. It looks like he's already used one Fissure here, but hasn't really offset the matchup just yet. We're actually going to see some good damage going to Pycat now. He doesn't have a level 2 yet. He doesn't have Blink available, and that means he is going to be taking some extra hits here from the Shadow Fiend. So very scary stuff, and he has to even pop the healing cell and Corey out another one, thanks to the here from Sioma. Sioma will be taking some hits here as Pycat does hit level 2, but I think Earthshaker will still be alright. In fact, they might be able to get EGM with a couple raises along with that Fissure. Looks like they won't risk it to the high ground. So, just no bottles going to be coming out for the 2-minute rune, maybe for the 4-minute. But for now, the Earthshaker just trying to be active, be involved, and maybe he even gets a good sentry out against the obs recently placed by EGM. And there we go. Up top though, Mag gonna be in some trouble here, gets hit by the cask, the shards. Try as he might to fight it out here, he is gonna be going down for the first blood, and that will be spilled by Nikwa. So Nikwa's gonna get a really good start here on, I want to call it a 4-position Tusk. I'll be watching who is buying the wards the most though, because the Witch Doctor does like to get some farm too. Obviously he won't need an Aghanim Scepter this game, because if worst comes to worst, the Alchemist can buy it for him. But the Witch Doctor can still benefit from items like Glimmer Cape, Blink Dagger, BKB to get more value out of the ultimate once it's enhanced. Bambo's going to get hit by a couple of disables here and caught inside the kinetic field. He very well might go down. Yeah, the cogs aren't going to be enough to keep Pasha out, and that is going to be a lot of creep wave that he is missing. He's going to try to TP down immediately, but he's already going to be missing, it looks like 3 melee creeps in terms of experience, and that is just brutal for the Clockwork here. He really wanted to get a chunk of that, and he will be missing out quite a bit. So he'll maybe be able to last at a couple of these range creeps under tower, but yeah, just the fact that he's not level 4 right now is kind of a result of that unfortunate pick-off. Now Mag's going to get perhaps picked off as well. Going to get hit by just 1 hit of the cask, but that'll be enough. He's completely out of position thanks to Nikwa's movement, and yeah, they're able to now start really just control the top lane. You'll see that they just got the D-ward out on the Observer that was here. Along with that, the sentry has now expired, so the 4-minute spawn will come through for this camp. I think that Mag's offlane is going to be harder and harder from this point forward. The boars are great, but it's just so difficult. Once the wards are taken care of, you have to hawk scout everything. Maybe he can block it with a hawk though, that would be really good. Maybe a glimpse play for Bambo if they could chain that up with the stun, but that's not going to come through. And we are going to be seeing some stacking play come out. EGM will stack up this for presumably the Alchemist, and in the meantime the Earthshaker stacks up this for the Shadow Fiend, already a triple. More fighting over this top rune area in terms of vision, in terms of just position and control. And makes both mids uncomfortable, to be honest, always having somebody nearby that can really tip the scales of combat. Not sure about that stun. Just gonna be action on Queen of Pain here as she gets hit by the Earthshaker Fisher. Gonna be having to jump back immediately, though she will be able to reheal her bottle. So, yeah, Pash pretty liberal with his aggression here. He's getting last hits under tower and putting some damage into the clock. It's just not as valuable as you might like it to be. He's gonna get his treads early, maybe a blink after that. We'll have to see. And Earthshaker's going for another stack here, so should be able to get a very nice quad stack as long as he follows the dirt path here. And yep, that's going to be a successful stack. That's a lot of money coming in for the Shadow Fiend here. He's got level 3 raises. That should be enough. Clear this out with 2 rounds of raises. Just going in here, Swagger Fiend. Just close to level 6, and suddenly he's going to be actually beyond level 7. A lot of income gold-wise as well. He's just going to get this huge boost that Queen of Pain won't be able to see for a long time. So this is going to give, I would say, Vega Squadron the advantage here in the early game. And we're going to have to see how well they pressure the Dire jungle and start taking stacks away. I do see no one is level 7.5, while Pycat is not even level 6 yet, and that's something that they really need to leverage if they're able to take full advantage out of the Earthshaker's commitment here. Because Earthshaker, as a result, is only level 2, no boots of speed. He had to commit to making that play happen. He had to make sure those stacks came in for no one. Master Roar, though, is not online yet, and that is probably another pretty critical aspect of their ability to make plays happen. Nikwa just kind of stalking around Invis. He's probably going to stalk mid lane for a while, though, and try to find an opening on Shadow Fiend. They can make like a 3-man rotation, and Sexy Bambo has his hook shot. And he will have that here at level 6. So, Shadow Fiend has to be their target now. Like, he is just experienced money bags. He really can provide them so much if they can make use of this Invis rune, but of course suspecting that is going to be Solo here on the Disruptor. Now he's going to get caught in the Ice Shards. A lot of damage coming in from the high ground, and Solo actually might just fall here, as yes, we do see the Clockwork jumping in. He'll get the hook shot, he'll get the kill on Earthshaker that takes down both supports and pulls no one inside the cogs. Now it's going to be the Sven coming in to help out the Shadow Fiend and getting a nice double stun here to do a lot of damage to Bambo. A raise and a right click with the God Strength nearly kills off Pycat as well as he pops the Mango. Oh, nice little Ice Shard path here from the Tuskar, though, is going to make it possible for the Sven to continue pursuit. Still a good rotation, and in the end we do see that it is just going to be that 2-for-1 here. Oh, no, there was definitely, yeah, the Clockwork died in the river, and I guess that was the only one they had to commit. In the meantime, Beastmaster does halfway through level 5, but Alchemist is still getting more out of this lane. I mean, look at his net worth. He's only got 41 last hits, 3 behind the Shadow Fiend, and yet he is here 700 ahead of the Shadow Fiend thanks to that Grievous. He's going for a 1-1-3 build, maybe even maxing Grieve here at 7, Greed at 7. And he'll have that Radiance at an insanely fast timing as a result. We're going to see here Bambo playing around with the Shadow Fiend a little bit. Glimpse might come through. No, they don't have the wherewithal to do so. They did have vision, it looks like. Yeah, this observer ward, I don't know, that was just placed out by the Earthshaker just now. So unfortunately that wasn't there at the time, or they probably would have had that glimpse. Instead it's going to be Bambo that gets to invade a little bit here, and it's going to be at least controlling the rune, which this haste could easily become a kill. The best banner rune sound in the game. Alright, so we've got the Sacred Relic already en route here for Soxa here, not even 8.5 minutes into the game. That's just huge. If he can find the Radiance, he'll be in a really great spot. And I'm actually proud that he didn't go for the max Grievous Greed here. It just seems a little bit much to go for all 4 points of Greed, but the fact that he's been able to freely last hit here with 3 points has gotten him his Radiance this quickly, but you still need to get that Acid Spray and Concoction up to fight and to farm. So I'm liking that he goes for, you know, if it can be called a conservative approach, only 3 points in Greed. So he's going to get the auction out here, but without the Acid Spray to enhance it, it doesn't really hurt him too much. And they're going to have to get him inside the cogs to enable this kill. Mag, now caught by that haste rune, does turn out to be a kill, but might be a kill the other way as well as EGM. Get down by the Shadow Fiend, and Bambo heads for the hills. He has the hookshot though, doesn't want to go toe-to-toe with that Requiem. Looks like that will be the end of the fight. We're getting some good solo experience here down on the bottom lane. If we just take a look at levels real quick, we're going to be seeing that all the supports are around level 4, but Nico's going to really be able to pull himself forward on the charts thanks to his temporary ability to go in the off lane while Bambo moves on the map. Bambo is always ready to gank when he has that shot available, but he is going to be finding himself in some trouble here. They know his position, and it's really going to be difficult to get away. I mean, he's caught inside the Fisher block now. He's going to be able to hookshot to the neutral creeps, and Mag will be able to roar him in his path with the Boar Slow and the hits from the Shadow Fiend. That is going to be a sure kill. And now we look down bottom where the snowball comes through onto Solo. Solo going to be caught out inside the ice shards, but Nikwa actually going to be taking the brunt of the damage, and Pash sending his buddy to the death. It looks like he already had God Strength active, doing some damage to the tier 1 tower, and gets that right to the tough face to deliver his own form of Walrus Punch. So, Shadow Fiend going to go for the mech build. Nothing else really to consider here. The Radiance is almost online, a lot of power treads, Urn of Shadows for the Disruptor, and a very poor Earthshaker. I guess that's the only other thing I can talk about here. 10.5 minutes in, we see that he is only 790 net worth, and really far behind what they had hoped for. Israel Pycat here really wants this kill on 10, but look how tanky this guy is. With a Bracer and Treads, he's got 1290 max HP. Even with the Sonic Wave, they cannot kill this guy. Maybe Solo, though. He is a little bit more vulnerable, and it's gonna be the Scream Sonic Wave, but even Solo lives with 130 HP thanks to the Gauntlets of Strength. All of these strength items really adding up, and the raw HP that Vega are bringing to these circumstances makes it more difficult for the Queen of Pain to find the kills. Now it's going to be Solo. He doesn't have a TP, so he wouldn't be going down under his tower. But I feel like in order to make this worth the 4-man rotation, you have to kill this tier 1 tower. And with Vega pretty much being up in arms in just a few minutes, I feel they're ready to make that confrontation happen. In the meantime, Alchemist, though, going to go for the Radiance farm. Will they steal some with raises here? Yep, 4 creeps go away from the Alchemist. Still doing some good work with this Radiance and Acid Spray, but no one comes in at the perfect time to at least steal some of that value. The Radiant Observer Ward from Siomo once again coming into play. Massive rotation here. Vega just going to be killing off Pycat, the easy kill from the back line with the Primal Roar. Sioma will look for the Fisher and finally get it off. Jeez, that battery assault gave him some nightmares, but they do end up killing off 2 as they make the mass TPs bottom, and they do deny the tier 1 tower bottom. So 4C really losing out on that trade, as EGM is likely to fall as well. Oh no, look at this net worth. It's just going to be skyrocketing in favor of the Radiant, and that's against an Alchemist, where the Alchemist is supposed to have this dramatic net worth advantage. He's only slightly ahead of the Shadow Fiend, and with that tower denied, they have less gold to pick up in the near future. In fact, we're going to be seeing this tier 1 pressure. With the Inner Beast, the War Cry, they're going to be able to take down this tower very quickly. And I'm not sure that 4C have the ability to defend it. They certainly want to, but they've got 1 point of Rocket Flare, they've got no Sonic Wave, they got no tier 1 tower. And while they will farm the next wave, they probably won't go ahead and push further than that. Seems a little bit ambitious, but hey, ambition seems to be Vega's middle name. They've got the Damage Rune on the Shadow Fiend, popping the drones for that attack speed. And yeah, this might be another tower falling with minimal trades. Oh my, no contest from 4CNL and Vega knowing exactly what they're capable of. They know where their bread's buttered, they know what they can do at this point in the game, and they're able to really find a lot of value in these earlier tower picks. This suppresses 4CNL's safe place to farm, where normally the Alchemist would start considering Ancient stacks and getting the Acid Spray out against those. Instead, he's going to be just to his own jungle, which is already warded up. 4CNL are being compressed here, guys, and this gives map control to Vega across the board. They're going to have Necronomicon, Mechanism, everything they need to fight, but we're going to see a little of an engagement here on an Owen, as I think the Clockwork wants to make the jump, but as I say that, Bambo starts backing off, finding anything more reliable, because that Shadow Fiend might just be too big. In particular, really being scary. And at this point, I would have to go say the Alchemist might need to go for a build that I have talked about it as being good or bad in Chinese Dota, but it really comes down to the tempo of the game. Mechanism actually could be really good for the Alchemist here, since nobody else is going to pick that up for the Dire. In order to survive through these hard disables, these hard controlling abilities of Vega, you need some healing, and not just from the Chemical Rage. Get that burst heal from the Mechanism. From Magic Wand Mechanism, you can fight. Instead, it looks like he's going to go for the Manta style, which is just all about spreading the map and avoiding fights. And while that also is a way to play the game, it might be a losing way if Vega just keep on taking tower after tower. I mean, they're not even getting that good of damage on this tier 1, and they're losing yet lane. They are very quickly losing control of this game. And it looks like it's going to be contested yet again. We do have a nice flank here from the Alchemist. He's smoked up. He's going to look for the concoction from the flank, but there's going to be the Echo Slam coming out along with that Static Storm, and they've already lost 2. Saksa, sure, he'll drop the stun, but he gets roared up, and now he's caught 1 versus 5 on the back line. Oh no, 4CNL falling apart. And this might be a very quick game 1 if we just see a quick Roche and a rush down the mid lane. I mean, what really is to stop them? They're going to just get into this pit and take it away. There is going to be Sonic Wave. There's Ice Shards, which might give them vision. There is no Ice Shards. Tusk went for the damage build, which is all well and good, but when you can't scout this Roche, you're going to be some trouble. The Rocket Flare is about to dissipate, and because Bambo didn't level Rocket Flare, they are going to lose sight. They don't have a chance to snatch. The hookshot comes way too early, and they'll just kill off the Clockwork. Take him down. Okay. Not... Did he just get glimpsed back? Okay, just made it easier on themselves. Glimpsed back the Clockwork immediately. They had vision from hookshot from the Observer Ward, so they just take him out of the fight. They get the Aegis, they get the Roshan, not risking anything, and now they can march right down mid. BKB on Shadow Fiend. Just, yeah. 800 gold. The Sven, where's he going? Blink Dagger? Yeah. So he's got Drums and Blink, 2 huge items for Sven, because honestly, one thing that Sven always has been lacking since Dota 1 is attack speed. But the new drums with this boost of 25 attack speed when you activate the item, you don't really need anything. Like, you used to go BKB Mask of Madness, now that has its weaknesses, but just going Drum Blink, you'll always be ready to fight. And I think that they're going to force the issue sooner rather than later. Top tier 1 will be pressured heavily by the double damage Pycat, but in the end they can't find anything with it. And we might just see a Regoose here on the Clockwork. Oh no, he's already caught out. They can just glimpse him back if they need to. He's definitely going down here one way or the other. It's just about where or when. And it looks like the glimpse will put him right into the Shadow Fiend's open arms. Smacking him down. Up top, though, we're going to see the Sven Beastmaster rotation. This is a kind of a difficult kill, but with that God Strength level 2, they make quick work of it. And now we're going to see the Queen of Pain just trying to jump away as quickly as possible. Does get the blink, now has the TP, and should be fine unless Solo finds him out. Still, that God Strength level 2. The Alchemist right now is only sporting 4 armor because of this Ultimate Orb. Ultimate Orb by itself is actually a pretty lackluster item. He'll get the Manta with it, great, but I was talking about that mechanism. I felt like he needed something here and now to survive and to fight, and the mech would give him the armor and that burst heal, which allows him to get potentially more value out of the Chemical Rage. It's a bad build against AA, but when you're an Alchemist that needs an early fighting item after Radiance, and you're not up against an Ancient Apparition, you gotta go for the mech, or you're gonna be in exactly the same situation that Saksa is. No counter push really available here. They'll cogs it, they'll shards it, they'll take down one quick wave, but it's going to be only a matter of time before no one just walks right up to the high ground, and here we go, blinking in, looking to kill off the Clockwork, but they do miss the glimpse a little bit. They pull him to the side, and they aren't able to finish off the Sexy Bamboo. Now going in, nice Ice Shards onto no one, big damage coming in here, and they are going to take him down once, but once is pretty easy, twice is the real challenge. We'll see it coming through here as they engage on the Sven. Actually engaging on the backline, you nice cog knockback with the Ice Shards, but no one just pops the BKB and stands to fight. He's unstoppable. Pycat will just pop his ultimate on the Sven, but he can't even kill the Sven in time. He doesn't have dots, he'll just go down, and a 2-man stun comes in for Pash on the backline. Finally, Shadow Fiend falls. Pycat looks to pursue, and he might just clean up one more, but man, this has been an intense battle back and forth. Necronomicon doing some good work here, mana burning from 2 sides, but here comes the Tusk coming through. Oh, nice Cask is really messing with these summons. Now we're going to see Beastmaster going down, and that actually cleans it up nicely. They don't lose their tier 3 tower. They not only take the Aegis, but take down many subsequent heroes, and they only end up buying on the Witch Doctor. Buying back on the Witch Doctor here is not that bad of a situation to be in. And yeah, as you can see, the net worth change is just massive for them. 2,500 net worth favoring them, and nearly 5k experience. Yeah, they don't end up killing the Sven. I don't believe they did, but they do kill off the Shadow Fiend twice, and those ice shards are really the main reason for it. The other thing I would say is when they glimpse the Clockwork South, they also use the Requiem by No One's Shadow Fiend, and you need the Requiem when you pop the BKB. That's how you really turn the fights, and that just didn't happen. So, a little bit of awkward usage of the Requiem, but these things happen. They're still going to be in a good position to take this game. They have a lot of momentum behind them, and it's going to be on 4CNL to find another fight like that to keep themselves in it. Smoking up, that's how you find those fights. Just finding those little pickoffs, getting the snowball where they don't expect it. But now we're actually going to start seeing this Alchemist build pay off. He's going to have that Manta very shortly, and obviously Manta style allows you to kind of play a Naga Siren type style of play. You get to spread the map, you get to constantly counter push the enemy waves, and that should allow you to not only farm quickly, but also make it harder for Vega to get push in on more than one lane. Kind of been going for the Yasha, but otherwise just the smoke. This is the key aspect of picking off. Where are the wards though? Only one ward on the Earthshaker here. They put one down in mid. They want one on the top, and yeah, they do get the Thunderstrike vision onto Alchemist. Gonna be able to chunk him down in no time at all, and the cask means very little here. We're gonna see Pash pursued upon, but they're gonna force the dust out from the Glimmer Cape, and he's still gonna be sitting at 800 HP, fighting it out. Solo kind of misplays the Static Storm there, but here's an Echo Slam to make up for it, as we see Nikwa just get chunked down alongside Pycat's Queen of Pain. Now Sexy Bambo on the run to the high ground, does have cogs, will be fine, but man, that Blink Echo just really was what they needed to now breach fully into this middle lane. Vega Squadron in a great position here as they force the fortification, and they have no Alchemist or Queen of Pain to deal with further. This might be the last nail in the coffin, hammered shut. You see the tier 3 fall, and one lane of Rax puts 4CL in desperation mode here, 21.5 minutes in. EGM not really going to get caught out here by Solo too much, but we're actually going to see Bambo try to isolate him. He's going to get caught by a couple of stuns, and yeah, the Shadow Fiend has no trouble cleaning that up on the side here, as Sen just pops off his next cooldowns, and Bambo has to buy back. They'll just leave it at that. They've taken the melee racks. Vega are trying to escape now, but Pash is kind of caught out without his Warcry active. He's taking a lot of damage. He's going to get nuked down by the Sonic Wave. Now we see no one still caught. Nikwa looking for one more Ice Shards to rule them all. Could be in a great choke point here, but no one keeps moving south, and it's going to be on Soxka's stun now. He does have vision, I do believe, and yeah, Solo will be caught, but he has the Glimmer Cape. We're going to be looking for the dust to try to catch him out. Don't have it. No detection at all, and they think he moves south. Solo might get away home free here. So they're not able to clean up as much as they wanted for that Rax. They do get the blink here on to Solo. He immediately pops the Static Storm though, and they look to turn it with that double damager, and a lot of right-click damage coming in from Shadow Fiend. He's hitting for over 300, but unfortunately he cannot survive the heavy damage coming in from 4CNL. That's gonna make it a 2-for-1 on the tail end. 3-for-1 in total. And most of the damage kind of just coming from the Queen of Pain, but spread across the entire team. Pycat's Aghanim Scepter really helping out here. But they're gonna need to make sure that every Sonic Wave counts, even with the short cooldown. 4CNL gonna be jumped on here. Pash just goes right onto Soxa without the Chemical Rage active, and he goes down to the creeps actually. After that last hit, brings him to fatal HP. Oh my, great jump there. Just great understanding of how much quick damage he can do on the Sven, and the fact the Alchemist can't pop any cooldowns at that point in time. Pasha just finding those openings and should be rewarded with a BKB here. He has enough gold for it, and yeah, he's gonna buy it out right without having to worry about buyback. With the BKB 10 on Sven, the BKB 8 on Shadow Fiend, and everything else coming together so nicely, I feel like Vega can go for the final death push here in just a moment. 2 minutes on Roshan. We're gonna see the bottom creep wave taken care of, but Mag just pops the Necronomicons and that roar, and are able to bring down the Queen of Pain with the help of Stioma's Echo Slam. Echo Slam might not have been necessary, but it's such a big kill that it's absolutely worth every bit of investment they can bring, because now they have the map completely to themselves. We're gonna see a pause here for the Alchemist. Alchemist net worth, trailing the Shadow Fiend by 1,000. That's a tough spot to be in. Vlad's coming out for the Disruptor. Great item here. Just positive armor all around. When you pop the Warcry and you have Vlad's aura, your team has 25 bonus armor. A Mechanism pop and you get 2 more than that. It's just, and they just really are building appropriately. Now it's actually only 3 more armor if the Shadow Fiend keeps his Ring of Aquila, but that's probably the first thing to go if the Aegis is on the field. So we'll see the next Roche fight. That the Vlads will be only a minor advantage, but once that Aquila is gone, you need the Vlads to make up for it in this situation in particular, with all that physical damage flying about. Any massive current gold? The Alchemist's doing okay here at 1,700, but really, what can point? You usually see the Octarine core, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it, but it's just it doesn't seem to have the momentum behind him to really make this build work. I drafted a decent bit of Alchemist with my team, and running Octarine, the Manta Octarine on the Alchemist seems just a little bit too greedy. Like, if you're really, really good at microing these illusions, great, but they only last 20 seconds. You just generally get better throughput through like just a fighting build. Like, just go Sanjin Yasha, BOTs or something like that, and you can get almost as much value. The Octarine is still great because the Chemical Rage cooldown is shortened, so you're able to keep that greater state of base attack speed reduction, HP regeneration flowing. But the Manta style is the thing that I'm not too sold on. It just feels like there's this stage where he just picks up the Manta style, and all he can do with it is farm. But to each his own. Saxa still trying to hold the line. If he's obviously getting a lot of gold through this kind of build, but one more pick off and it might just be lights out for 4CNO. 12,000 net worth, 10,000 experience, favoring Vega Squadron right now, and just seems like it might be the point of no return. One more Roche fight is what it comes down to, and they do have the Frozen Sigil to do a little bit more scouting alongside the Rocket Flare here, but it looks like they just want to push out the mid lane once and then try to go for a smoke, hopefully not under Observer Wards. 2 Observer Wards in play, it's going to be hard to dodge those for the smoke at a seat. And I don't even see the smoke that's on the core here. Alchemist going ahead, doing his thing. He pops in Chemical Rage. I think that the illusions to lower base attack time, but in either case. And he's gonna go ahead and just farm that stuff up. Yeah, it looks like it does give them the reduced attack rate. So it doesn't heal them, because illusions cannot heal, but it does give them the base attack time of 1, 2. It's not bad. And then they get more movement speed, I think, as well, 40. Able to get a little bit more done, but will it be enough? Complete map control from Vega right now. More staff coming out for Sioma pretty soon. Great counter to the Clockwork for both the Shadow Fiend and the Earthshaker. And really, they're not waiting on much else. Shadow Fiend's going to be looking for an Eye of Scotty, and that's just going to give him really all the meat on his bones to go ahead and siege the high ground, no problem at all. Gonna go into the pit here. Let's look at this smoke. Trying to get in position for this, but the ice shards and the snowball just has to be perfect. We're gonna see the engagement shortly. Sexy Bembo has the intel with this rocket flare, but they have to find the right angle of attack. Queen of Pain coming in from the eastern flank. Mag here on the front line. They're looking to tank this up. Echo Slam coming out from Sioma. They disrupt the initiation as they knock out AGM. Great static storm as well, and that just stops any snowball savior play coming in from Nikwa. Bambo running for his life, gonna be hit down by that Sven, and it is an absolute disaster here on the bottom rune. There's going to be the Queen of Pain ultimate, trying to finish off one single hero, but it will not come. They'll stun him, they'll break him down, and 4CNL are down for the count. The Queen of Pain slips away. Sonic Wave in 25, but she cannot stop the Roshan. Might go for the snatch, way too ambitious in my mind, but this is Pycat. Who knows? Pycat does end up jumping away. That means Shadow Fiend with Aegis is going to be walking right up to the high ground here, just smacking away at some towers. So let's look at buyback status here. We've got on the Dire side Alchemist and Queen of Pain. The Disruptor and the Beastmaster also have ones if they want to use it offensively. Not common if you don't have BOTs, but still a possibility since they have that tier 1 mid tower up proxy for their kind of re-engage.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Melee barracks going to be going down very shortly. And they're going to try to hold it here. They get you inside the cogs here. Solo popping. The Glimmer Cape doesn't help too much against the Sonic Wave. Gets maxed up and gets the ultimates off. It's going to be huge. No one, though, will be losing his first life. And Solo does get stunned up for his own. Will he buy back to try to finish this one off? Yes, he will. TPing to the good tower. We will see Bamboo kind of caught in an awkward position, just keeping back to base. But that leaves Soxka all by himself. Nico doesn't have the snowball to try and save him. And 4CNL tap out here at 29 minutes. This Alchemist just couldn't get enough momentum behind him, and Vega just kill-tastic. The way they're able to execute in the fights, they're able to move so effectively. They only had one fight that involved misplays on the top Dire racks. Beyond that, they had